Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of News in Motion. Today is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. And it is cold here in Central Ohio. It is cold here in Central Ohio. The weather right now is 5 degrees. That's just it. It's just 5 degrees outside, but it feels like -10. So be sure that if you must go outside, be sure that you are bundled up with the hat, the scarf, the gloves, all of that. We are praying for all of those who are without shelter right now in a time like this, and these frigid weathers. But it's just giving awareness, bringing awareness that it is cold outside. And make sure that you are bundled up. Make sure that your family is warm. But today is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024, and today we have Wednesday workshop and wisdom. So be sure to stick around. Make sure you have your pen and paper ready for that. Be sure to tell a friend that you're tuning in through News in Motion as well. Whether you're tuning in through Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or if you're an audio podcast listener, we just want to say thank you for turning your dials to NIM Today, your news outlet for relevant commentary and call to action. I see you, Miss Kim Emerson, tuning in through YouTube, and Miss Jackie Wolfledge. Good morning to you as well. The YouTube viewers are in here bright and early. They will be in here at 5:30. We don't go live until 7:25. That don't make sense, y'all. They already got their breakfast and stuff ready. The YouTube viewers are ready. Good morning to you, Miss Marion Jackson, also tuning in through YouTube. Good morning, Miss Yvonne Garner, tuning in through YouTube as well. And good morning, Miss Regina Shorts, tuning in through YouTube as well. So as y'all keep coming into the room, be sure to tell a friend that you're tuning into News in Motion. And if you're ready for some Wednesday workshop and wisdom, let us know in the chat what you're looking forward to today. So without further delay, I know what we do here. Let's get ready for some News in Motion.
News in Motion.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? I am ready for some Wednesday workshop and wisdom. Listen, I did the homework. So I hope you're coming in here ready to receive what I have to share with you today. And by the way, and I shared this with Isaiah earlier in the green room, I'm in no hurry today. I am going to slow walk us through this because I believe we need every ounce of the information I'm about to share. I see you, Robert Holman, in here as well. Deborah Johnson, what's up? What's up, Rosanna Bivens? I think Isaiah grabbed all the YouTube people. Y'all are stacked up in here today, and we're excited. I see you, Shardinia, coming in here as well. So again, I'm in no hurry today. So if you got someplace to go, whenever it's time for you to jump off, you jump off and do what you need to do. But I must slow walk us through a lot of information today. So be ready, okay? Y'all, today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, January the 17th, 2024. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in, whether you're watching the live video or you are listening to the live audio. I am just so excited that you trust me enough to share this information with you. So, if you're ready, let's jump in. Let's jump in. Let's jump in. Marion Jackson, hold up. Yeah, Marion Jackson's in Ohio, okay? And she said, God answered your prayers for snow yesterday. Listen, you're in the north. I'm sure y'all got it stacked up. I ain't get any. And I'm not happy. We just got the cold. So, Marion, if you don't mind, I know you're a prayer warrior. If you would just pray some of that snow this way, I would greatly appreciate it. I want to play in it. I want to lay in it. I want to have a snowball fight. So, Marion, I just need some of that kind of snow. I see my brother rolling up in here as well. And Latrice Jones, what's up? Again, y'all, I'm slow walking it today. I'm in no hurry. Y'all, there's some information I need to share with you all, and I pray you're ready. So let's jump in. First off, we have the Washington Post reporting that Thursday's GOP debate in New Hampshire is canceled. You know, the former guy's just not going. He can't do things like that, right? He doesn't know how to do it. So he's not going. So Nikki Haley done wised up. She said, I'm not doing it either. So that only left Ron DeSantis standing. And they like, we gonna cancel this. So they gonna cancel that. I was like, okay, Nikki Haley, what you got up your sleeve? Let's do this. All right, y'all. I want to talk about wisdom a little bit. I want to talk about wisdom a little bit. Wisdom is okay, Deborah Johnson, you live in Ohio, the same place I live. I didn't get any snow and you just down the street from me. So help me understand why God's not answering my prayers for snow. I need some snow, a lot of it. Anyway, y'all, wisdom. Here, let's write this down. Write this down. Get your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, your pen and paper, whatever you use to write with. I want you to write these 6 things down. Or actually 7. Start with the word wisdom and underline the word wisdom. Latrice Johnson. Y'all, this is why we're gonna be here all day. Because I gotta respond to my peeps. Latrice Jones says, Gail E. Dudley. She put my middle initial in there, y'all. She says, I love you, but this call for snow is gonna bring a wedge between us, sis. We shall never part. I know you love me. So anyway, listen, y'all. Write the word wisdom. Draw a line underneath the word wisdom. And here are 6 things I want us to do when it comes to wisdom, y'all. This is Wednesday workshop in wisdom, and I'm slow walking us today. And trust me, you're gonna need to take some notes. Pay attention and plan your vote. That's number 1 under wisdom. Pay attention and plan your vote. Y'all, officially, we are in the general election season. You may not like it, but we're here. I know it seems like we just got finished with an election, but we are here. We are here. It's general election time. Super Tuesday for many of us is coming up on March the 5th. The New Hampshire primary is January the 23rd. That's next week. And the Nevada caucus is February the 7th or the 8th. I don't have the date in front of me, but it's somewhere in February. Super Tuesday is March the 5th. I need y'all to plan y'all's vote. I need y'all to plan y'all's vote. Number 2, I need you to read. Listen, I'm begging y'all to read. Please read. Read everything. Please read. I'm gonna need y'all to read. Don't rely on a commercial. Don't rely. Oh, please don't rely on social media. I need y'all to read. I need you to read. And if you have questions while you're reading, ask somebody. Number 3, I need y'all to attend some town hall meetings. I need y'all to attend some town hall meetings in your district. Yes. I also need you to attend your school board meetings in your county. Attend them. They may be boring as hell to you, and I did say hell, but attend them with note paper and pen, smartphone, record it, whatever. Please pay attention to what's being said. Number 4, attend commissioners' public meetings. You can go. You can go. I'm gonna go a step further along with the commissioner meeting. Attend your HOA meetings. Okay, seriously, attend them. It ain't boring as hell. And people start fighting where I live. I'm like, whoo, but I'm sitting back here and I'm taking notes. And number 6, ask someone you trust. Okay, so hope you have that written down. If not, watch the replay. So let's jump in here. During the November 7th, 2023, here's an example. Election. The Columbus City Schools were on the ballot in Franklin County. Y'all, issue 11. They were talking about, they weren't talking about, they were talking about, they weren't talking about it. That should have given you a reason to pay attention to what was happening. So I gotta go there. To tell y'all what was on there. Issue 11, Columbus City Schools. Issue 11, levy facts. The district placed a combined 7.7 mil levy, permanent improvement levy, and a 3.0. They had 2 in 1. 3.0 mil operating levy on the November 7th ballot. Now, if y'all were reading, you would have read these words. Based on the current values, the 7.7 mil levy would cost a property owner $269.50 annually per 100,000 of appraised value. Now, of appraised value, and this is the appraisal, the value of the auditor's office. You received a letter somewhere around March 2023. You had until September 2023 to either accept the appraisal or not. And then they gave you a little bit longer to December 31st, 2023 to do whatever needed to be done. Payments are due. And people are going buck wild, including my parents. Hello, somebody. Now, hold on, hold that thought. Let me keep reading. It goes on to say, due to property value changes resulting from the 2023 reappraisal process, which means there was an appraisal after the appraisal. Hello, somebody. The cost per 100,000 of appraised value would be less than this calculated amount. The determined estimate levy cost for your property taxes, and it tells you where to go visit. Franklin County Auditor's Levy Estimator website. Okay, so that was on their website. The question is, how many people went to the website to read it? Well, you can go and look at how many clicks are in the web on the website. Only about 11% went and clicked on that piece right there. Y'all, come on, we got to read what's out there before we vote. So I'm going to deal with elderlies just for a moment because that's where I came in. I worked on this all day yesterday with my siblings, okay? Well, I believe, and I love my parents, but I believe once you hit 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, it doesn't mean you're ignorant to what you're reading, but I believe there's confusion that comes in there. There's a lack of understanding that comes in there. And I shared with my parents, and yeah, I told my mom I was going to talk about them today on News and Motion. I shared with my parents, don't open up another piece of mail until one of your 5 children or your grandchildren are sitting next to you, and you're going to have to come outside of your pride, and you're going to have to allow us to read something, and you're going to have to be able to say, I don't understand what I just read. So we're now trying to work backwards to help them out because their home, which they own outright, is in a gentrified area, and there's houses on the street that are $500,000 now. Their house is not $500,000. So the appraisal from the Franklin County Auditor gave an appraisal based upon this area, but they had until September and then December 31st to say, we don't agree with that appraisal. We need you to come in and give us a different appraisal because our house isn't worth that. Okay. Kim Evanson says most Columbus properties went up in value last year. Yes, they did. And many people did not even read that or understand that because some people are intimidated by that information. That goes back to people saying, I'm just too overwhelmed with news. I don't want to listen to news. I don't want to read news. Believe me when I say you're missing some information you need. Again, I'm slow walking it today. My brother just said, thank you, sis. Thank you, bro. We're in this together. Y'all, I'm slow walking this, and I'm using this as an example. We don't read. And we're too prideful to say, I don't understand what's happening. And who do I call? I'm going to go another step. There are many people who do not use technology well or not sure how to navigate, or maybe they don't have technology in their home at all. Hello, somebody. So we need to start identifying these individual people and working alongside them so that they have a better understanding. Okay. All right. Let me keep going. The Columbus Public Library, these are just examples, also had a levy on the ballot. Hello, somebody. And all this came out of their property taxes that are now due. Okay. On the Columbus Public Library, it gives you everything they're going to do, how they're going to talk about it. And then it says at the very bottom, which, by the way, I have a little problem with that. I don't live in that area, so I didn't look at some of these to that detail, which also says just because you're not in that area, if you know somebody that's in the area, you need to get and have a conversation with those people in the area to make sure they understand. Leave Latrice's up there. I'll come to that in a moment. At the very bottom of the Columbus Public School website, on their levy page, it says this. This is a 1.5 mil additional continuing levy, which will be on the November 7th, 2023 ballot. The 1.5 mil amount to $4.42 per month for each 100,000 of the city auditor's appraised value. It gives you the election day. It tells you when early voting starts. But here's something that both of the levies, both the Columbus Public Schools, I'm sorry, Columbus City Schools and the Columbus Library did not say. They didn't explain what yes meant, and they did not explain what no meant. And which means you had to do your due diligence and seek understanding. Latrice Jones says a new appraised value ain't no joke. It is no joke at all. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'll tell you that in a moment. The property value went up, and then the levy on top of it really hurt some folks. People, and I want us to pray today. There are some people who may be on the brink of losing their homes that they've paid for in full because they cannot meet that property tax. They have no family members who can help them. Now, in Columbus, Ohio, I know there's people that are tuning in throughout the United States, but this could pertain to you too because it's coming to a city near you. Believe me when I say, when something happens in one area, it trickles down to the other areas. You can, in Ohio, there's this thing called the homestead. Just Google homestead. You go Google homestead, it'll pop up. It'll be a 3-page form you can complete. Now, you have to have it done for 2025 by December 31st, 2024. Don't wait. Go ahead and pull it up. Also, there's Impact. There's other places you can go. And you can contact the county auditor to say, I don't agree with this appraisal. I need you to come and appraise it again. And then state your reasons why. That's why we should have advocates and use advocates when working with this. Okay, y'all, you have to read. You have to read. I see y'all popping up in here. Yes, Latrice Jones, this is real. So let me go back. Pop up Latrice's comment again. I want to get to something. The property value, because in my digging and my nosiness, okay, this is my thing. I love every moment of it. We're slow walking it today. I'm not in a hurry. So let's talk about this just for a moment. And again, this is coming to a city near you. So wherever you are, okay? So here's what's happening in Columbus, Ohio. We have Intel, we have Amazon, we have Google. Everything went up. Everything went up. Okay. And I kindly told my parents, I would kindly take your property tax bill if you would like the Delaware County bill, because I can tell you they are not the same. I'll take your bill any day. But because of those things that are happening and all the developments that are taking place, which we want those things, right? The property value is shooting up. Now they're talking about transit. They're talking about having this Amtrak, this train. If you think the property taxes went up this year, just hold on for another year or two. The development in the east side of Columbus at Hamilton, the old Eastland Mall building, what they're about to turn that into, property taxes are going to go up again. So y'all in your city, whether you're in Baltimore or Atlanta or Columbus or Pittsburgh or Philadelphia or Dallas or Plano, you know where I'm going with that. Pay attention to what's being built and how it's being built, because that will determine your property taxes. Think about every now and then, and y'all don't be nosy to see what they pay for their houses, but every now and then go and look at the median housing costs in your area, in your neighborhood. That also gives you a trigger. I want us to get beyond just living our life and paying attention. Okay, we need to pay attention. Deborah Johnson says people who own their homes are having them stolen by people stealing their deeds. That's happening too. So pay attention, pay attention. Y'all got to keep going, but I'm slow walking. I got to keep going. Property taxes are now due in Franklin County. Residents are mad, they're frustrated, they're confused, and they're etc. So y'all, I need to tell y'all, I'm begging y'all, read everything before you vote. Read everything before you vote. Now in Franklin County, now that you're in this, both with the public library and the city schools, that should give you fuel to go attend some public meetings. Well, how are you spending this money? Is it going to where you go to the website right now while it's still up there? It's still up there. Print it off. Take that paper to the meetings, to town hall meetings, to wherever, and say, okay, this is what happened. whether I voted for it or did not vote for it, let's talk about it. Here's the other thing I started doing yesterday. I started pulling. I went to the different board of trustees, and I went to some of the executives, right? And I went like, where do they live? And I have to tell y'all, I'm shocked that many of them live outside of Franklin County. Oh, so you don't have to pay. And then I went a step further and started looking at some people I know who are teachers. And I said, they live in the city. So they now paying part of their paycheck for their operational costs. Yeah, it's a strange thing. And yes, those things are needed, but we also have to balance how they're done. Okay, we also have to balance. Here's another example. The Washington Post reports that congressional negotiators announced a roughly $80 billion deal. 80 billion, that's with a B, on Tuesday to expand the child tax credit, that if it becomes law would make the program more generous, primarily for low-income parents as soon as this year. I think it's a great thing that they're doing this. It's a bipartisan bill. We have Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden, Democrat of Oregon, and House Ways and Means Committee Chair Jason T. Smith, Republican of Missouri, who have been trying to finalize this deal for months. So, if this bill passes, they looked at the 2021 American Rescue Plan. So, let's just say this. I'm reading this and I just gave you those words, the American Rescue Plan. Many of you tuning in have no idea what that is. I understand. I understand. But now that you hear the words, Isaiah, if you would put that in the chat, American Rescue Plan, the 2021 American Rescue Plan. Now that you hear the words, go look it up. Get an understanding what it is, and then also look up the federal child tax credit, and what will happen if it becomes law. Start reading and getting a better understanding of what these things are and why. Here's a quote. 15 million kids from low income families will be better off as a result of this plan. And given today's miserable political climate, it's a big deal to have this opportunity to pass pro family policy that helps so many kids get ahead. And this is Wyden's statement. Lawmakers agreed to expand child tax credit, which lifted millions of kids out of poverty during the pandemic. Here's who will benefit. And then they go on to talk about the people and the program. Hunger is a part of that. Food insecurity, which is hunger, is a part of that. Homelessness is a part of that. Health is a part of that. But now here's the problem. You have people in a different tax bracket saying, I ain't agreeing with that. Why not? You making billions and aren't even paying half or nearly as half of taxes that we're paying. So make it make some sense. Y'all, these are the questions. This is again those 6 things I gave you in the beginning under wisdom. Pay attention and plan your vote. Read, attend town hall meetings, attend school board meetings, attend commissioner public meetings, as well as HOA meetings, and ask someone you trust. There needs to be an understanding of these rules and what's here. That's all right. Y'all got another example for you. CNBC reports, and I'm not in a hurry today because I want us to have this information. CNBC reports that a judge blocks the JetBlue Spirit merger. Now, some people are mad about that. Like, why? I was ready to have JetBlue take over Spirit and change the decor and make it more comfortable. But what came with that were higher prices for the people. And there's a lot of people who are flying Spirit Airlines. Not that I want to fly Spirit Airlines, but and I have, whoo, Lord, and I tell you, they nickel and dime you. They pay, you got to pay for a cup of water. I was like, are you serious? That's the couch just be parked. I'll be landing in 20 minutes. But regardless, there are people who use Spirit Airlines because that's the cheapest and they need to get to their destination. And there was a lot of people they interviewed. People were like, don't merge it because I was able to jump on that plane for $39 to get to my family member's funeral. I was able to jump on this plane for $59 to able to get to my child who was having a situation at school. So the judge was like, no, we ain't about to do this. We're not going to do this. So JetBlue proposed a $3.8 billion purchase. I think I talked about this on News in Motion last year of discount spirit will produce the country's fifth largest. Okay, you have Delta, you have United, you have Southwest, and you have American. Those are the four. So JetBlue was trying to come in and merge with Spirit Airlines. Okay, so let me keep going. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Here's a quote from the judge. The judge said JetBlue plans to convert Spirit's plane into JetBlue layout and charge JetBlue higher average fares to its customers. And this was U.S. District Court Judge William Young. He wrote in his decision. He goes on to say the elimination of Spirit would harm cost conscious travelers who rely on Spirit's low fares. Yeah, what does this have to do with anything? It has a whole lot to do with it. You know why? Because who do you think supporting those who's appointing those US District Court judges? Hello, somebody. We have to start connecting these dots to get a better understanding and stop voting out of emotions. Vote out of having an understanding, a consciousness, and researching the information. Y'all, voting is more than going and saying, I voted today, and putting your sticker on and taking a selfie saying, hey, come vote with me. Why did you vote? Who did you vote for? And how did you vote? And did you do your due diligence in doing your homework? I have a lot of time, y'all. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. So the DOJ, yeah, Merrick Garland came into play on this one. He said, and I quote, today's ruling is a victory for tens of millions of travelers who would have faced higher fares and fewer choices had the proposed merger between JetBlue and Spirit been allowed to move forward. This is Merrick Garland. Yep, he goes on to say the Justice Department will continue to vigorously enforce the nation's antitrust laws to protect the American consumer. Yeah, that's what he said. We got to pay attention to these things, y'all. This is important. And guess what, y'all? I got another example. Hello, somebody. Woo! In Florida, I told y'all yesterday that Florida has a bill out. Senate Bill 1780. Y'all know I did my homework on this one. It was introduced on Friday. And it aims to simplify the process for individuals to sue for defamation, focusing on defamation, false light, what's the word I want to use? That's not light. False light, false light, and unauthorized publication of name or likeness. Woo, there's a whole lot of stuff up in here, y'all. It sounded really good. It's just legalese. There's some legal information that's in there, but y'all, what's inside these pages will make you just go like, what is happening? So the potential new law may consider accusations of racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia as defamation, creating concerns about freedom of speech in the state of Florida. Hold on, because everybody else is waiting to see if this passes in Florida, that they're going to adopt a bill for their state. So let me slow walk you through this. I'm in no hurry today because we need to know this. I went to the wrong page. I got to go to the first page. All right. So here's the first page. The first page says, and I'm still not on the first page. See, I got so excited. Okay, here I am. Senate Bill 1780. That's 10 pages. That's 10 pages. The bill number is 1780. This is Senate Bill SB 1780. 10 pages, y'all. Listen to this. First of all, they still don't have a title for the bill. Now, this bill was brought on by Senator Brodeur, Brodeur. I may have messed up his name. Now, the reason I'm giving you the senator's name, because right there, when you hear of a new bill, you should go and find out who's sponsoring this bill. Then you go and you check out that senator or that representative and you look at how they have previously voted. And then you go and review some of their platform to see if their platforms align. Okay? What's up, Jeffrey? Good to see you. You check and see if their platforms align. So let's get to Senate Bill in Florida 1780, that if it passes, a lot of us are going to be messed up. An act relating to defamation, false light, and unauthorized publication of name or likeness amending. Then they give amendment number. Now, if you're really into this, you go check out the numbers. Y'all know I did. providing that provisions concerning journalist privilege do not apply to defamation claims when the defendant is a professional journalist or media entity. And then it talks about the privacy of a tort. Well, let's talk about a tort. Y'all with me? I'm not in a hurry today. So there are three different types of torts. And I got this one from the Babcock Law Firm in Colorado because I wanted to find. And I also checked out with some of my attorney friends, some judges, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't know why you're not an attorney." I said, "Because I would never pass the bar because I am not a test taker." So, what is a tort case? Latrice, I know you all over this. A tort is defined as wrongful act or an infringement of a right other than under contract leading to civil legal liability. A tort occurs when a person wrongs someone else in a way that exposes the offender to legal liability. Now, y'all, this harm doesn't always occur because someone intentionally sets out to harm another person on purpose. Rather, a person can commit a tort by acting negligently or failing to act appropriately. In addition, in some types of tort cases, an actor is strictly liable for damages they cause even when they are careful as possible. Y'all go look that up on your own, okay? Y'all go look that up on your own. But let me keep going through this because y'all, this is serious. All right. Exempting certain claims from specific provisions concerning offers of judgment and demands for judgment in civil actions, specifying that a fact finder may infer actual malice in certain circumstances. I'm skipping around. Creating a presumption that a statement by an anonymous source is presum- presumptively false for purpose or defamation action. Then it goes on, talks about public figures. So you got to read the whole thing. Got to read the whole thing. But I'm going to talk about public figures. I said, where did this come from and why? I started looking up. I started digging into some of the transcripts of their actual meetings. They're public. They're public. Their people are paying their salaries. So these are public meeting transcripts. They talking about, we don't want you to call Ron DeSantis racist. We don't want you to call Donald J. Trump racist. We don't want you to call Governor Abbott racist. These are public figures, okay? And you can start naming the rest of them on here. So they no longer want to be called names, okay? Let me keep going. And they talk about they do not need to show actual malice to prevail in a defamation action in certain circumstances, creating, providing the person who gives publicity to a matter. It keeps going. I'm skipping around. So, for example, yeah, this is all in the transcript. For example, people who stand up and accept their awards at the Oscars, people choice. Basically they're silencing the people. Okay, Marion Jackson says, so the Florida Senate Bill 1780 trying to take away free speech from the people. Yep, they're trying to silence some people. So if it passes there and the other states are waiting to see if it passes so that they can adopt it, y'all better pay attention. So let me break down what they're talking about, y'all. They tie in our hands newspapers, books. That's why they're banning books, magazines, anyone presentation to an audience. So if you have an audience and you say something, okay, anyone broadcast over radio or television, anyone exhibition of a motion picture. So you know how on some of these films something said, that too, or anyone publication, exhibition or utterance on the internet, that's social media, okay? Editing any form of media so that it attributes something false or leads a reasonable viewer to believe something false about a plaintiff may give rise to a defamation claim or privacy tort. Y'all better pay attention. Y'all better pay. This one got me on fire because this, I'm like, and this goes, if it passes, it goes into effect July 2024, right at the time of the RNC and DNC. They're all public figures. So we can't say anything about it. What's really coming out of this, and why are you doing this? Y'all pay attention. Pay attention. I ain't even done. I ain't even done. So I went through those 10 pages. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. Davia says so they can say whatever they want, but can't be called on it. This is bananas, straight bananas. So I started getting real nosy, Yvonne. Yvonne knows I get real nosy. And I said, okay, let me see what else is out here. So this particular bill is 10 pages. And I just want y'all these are my writing. This is like where I'm writing and highlighting. But look at all that they crossed out. All that crossed out down here, this is theirs. And y'all, some of the stuff that's crossed off is like amazing. I'm like, why they cross that off? Isn't that interesting? They're talking about damages, baseless material, internet. Y'all, it's really shutting down the internet. Okay, that's 10 pages. That's 10 pages. Uh, Pastor Alex says, my pastor calls our governor a racist on a regular from the pulpit. He or she gonna get sued if this passes. Yvonne says, love it when you get nosy. I gotta get nosy. Latrice Jones says, has anyone heard anything about Senate Bill 1780 anywhere else? This is why I love News in Motion. Hello, somebody. So y'all, I got real nosy because I was like, let me see what else is out here. Let me see what else is out here. Well, I went and found this bill in Florida. Now, they didn't have a sponsor's name to this bill, which makes it very questionable. Okay, y'all. This is House Bill 757. Now, this one's 5 pages. And I said, well, has some of the same language as Senate Bill 1780. Why is that? Because it starts off the same way. An act relating to defamation, false light, and unauthorized publication of name or likeness, amending 770.05. So I went back to this 10 pages and I said, there's 70.05 on this one. Why are there 2 different bills? And I kept reading, y'all, this bill, which would be the sneaker, can supersede this bill. Y'all better pay attention up in here. I said, what? I said, they setting you up. So this bill can sneak in. This 5-page bill can sneak in over this bill that's 10 pages, that's 1780. But y'all, that ain't all. Because I said, well, if that's connected to a bill, there has to be another one out here. Stuff happens in threes, right? Yeah. Senator Garcia has a Senate Bill 1086. And 1086 is also 5 pages. And it starts off the same way. An act relating to defamation, creating what? 770.05. I said, there it is. So I kept reading that one, and it says providing a short title, defining terms, prohibiting journalists and media outlets from knowingly publishing or disseminating a narrative that one may deem false. So you deem it as false, but it's not false. I mean, help me understand this here. Defamation material about a public figure. You can't say anything about racist, sexism, homophobic, or transphobia. What? You just silence the people. There's no response. Providing any quotes or sound bites. So I can't provide your quote or sound bite, and I can't have commentary behind that. Y'all, what is this doing? This is taking over the Fair Use Act. Hello, somebody, pay attention and connect these dots. Y'all, I get really excited. I really should be an attorney, but I would have never passed the bar because I'm not a test taker. Considering a violation, providing applicable. Y'all, I kept reading. It talked about the Florida statutes. It's created to read 770.001 definition as used in this chapter. An act of defamation includes action for libel, slander, false narrative, and related causes of action. Y'all better pay attention. Y'all better pay attention. Y'all, and then when they underline things like this on the bill, that means you got to pay, and this is 2 pages on the underline of the very small bill, and that's the Senate Bill 1086. Some of it says false narrative means intentionally misleading or an accurate representation of public figures' action. Only the public figure can tell you what they really mean. Really? You think so? Journalist means a person regularly engaged in collecting, photographing, recording, writing, editing, reporting, or publishing news for gain or livelihood, who seeks and obtains information while working as an employee of or independent contract for a media outlet. Y'all, they are silencing journalists if this is passed. Media outlet means newspaper, news journal, news agency, press association, wire service, radio or television station, streaming platform, network, or news magazines. They're silencing the people. Public figure means a notable person of public interest or familiarity, including but not limited to a government official, politician, business leader, or athlete. Well, what happened to celebrity? What happened to them? So they not protected. So you only protecting really the politicians. Okay, I see you. Pro pro um um public figure, a false narrative, and defamation statements, burden of proof. Uh, Defamation allegation as made in actual malice. Y'all, these are all the underlying things, and they really do break them down. Basically, you can't say anything. Nothing. You can't say anything. Kim Edmondson says unbelievable. She also says what is really going on. Annette Jackson says, don't they know this can backfire to work against themselves? But they're the ones writing the rules, so they can explain it away any way they want to. Marion Jackson says, so Florida Senate bill and House bill are trying to subvert federal laws. Y'all, this is what we need to do when we're in the middle of the general election. It kicked off on Monday in Iowa for Iowa caucus. I thought it was so important to share this information with you. And the reason why I believe it's so important to share this information with you is because if other states are waiting to see this pass in Florida, other states will then want to adopt this, and depend upon how their legislators run things, they could either put it in a bill like this, or they can make it a measure on the ballots in November. You have to pay attention. Yeah, you have to pay attention. Shirley says, does this mean I can no longer call anyone Karen or use the phrase white privilege? There is some of that in here. They don't use the word Karen, but when they talk about all the different phrases, that's in here. Y'all, I'm glad that I found this, and I'm glad that I took the time to research this to share this with you here on News in Motion. This is important. This is important. Talking about freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is in the Constitution. So you're about to take that away? So y'all, when you talk about voting for your legislators, when you're talking about voting for the highest office of the United States, when you're talking about who's coming into the cabinet with that particular person, you have to look at everything and not just one person. You cannot do that, y'all, and it takes work to do it, but it's worth it, y'all. Our lives depend upon this. Our lives depend upon this. Kim Edmondson says these are people who want to run our country. Yes, yes, this is real. Even in the state of Ohio, the vote that took place on November the 7th, when it comes to women and their bodies, and when it also comes to the marijuana law, and there's another one, the transgender health. Um, you can see how the legislators are now trying to unravel the voices of the people, regardless of how you voted. If it happens for those particular laws, imagine if it's something you want to vote for, and then all of a sudden some people behind closed doors unravel those things. Yeah, we have to deal with this, and we have to stand up. I was in a conversation with my son on yesterday, and we were talking about the Iowa caucus and how people left after they did this call within 36 minutes. From the Associated Press is the first one who made the call, followed by, I believe it was NBC News, and then followed by the New York Times. And my son and I were having this conversation. He says, but the people need to stand up and say, no, you cannot call the racist. And there's still people in line. I don't care what the numbers look like. But here's the question, my son, we had a very passionate conversation, and he was like, he knew I was on fire, and I love having a conversation with him. And I said, but the problem is people don't want to stand up. Um, it's not, let me not say they don't want to stand up. They're afraid to stand up because they're thinking about their job and if they say anything. I was sharing with a friend of mine yesterday from Oregon. We were talking about some of this. And I said, I want you to know that I've lost a lot of money lately. And I lost a lot of money where I've had invitations to come and speak, but because people don't like my politics, they have uninvited me. And I'm okay with that because money's not everything. I'm okay with that. And I would tell y'all the amount, but I won't. The amount of money that I lost. So I've had invitations on my calendar for probably 2 years. And some people invited me to speak because of the inspirational message and because of my passion for advocacy and helping people. But then when the committee said, hey, we want her, they would take it to, let's say, their pastor, and their pastor like, no, 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 she's too political for us. We don't want her there. Although I was not going to talk about politics at all. So I've been uninvited to places, which is cool because of my politics, because of my political views. But that should, for some people in their workplaces, and I get it. I get it. I got a husband in here who takes care of things. But I want my own money because I want to be independent. I want to be a help me. I want to be independent. I don't want to be a dependent. Um, but I'm okay because it's like, uninvite me because you're not my people. That's not the place. But people who are relying on their jobs, they're saying, I can't ruffle any feathers because this is tied to my job. Because I know my supervisor is this political party or that political party, and I can't say anything. So for some people, their hands are tied. So they can't speak, they can't share. So my son and I were having a conversation. I said, so some people are like, well, I'm just go walk away in silence. I don't like it, but I can't do anything about it. And I'm calling for advocates to rise up peacefully. And by the way, I understand you may want to block the road for things, but somebody's about to get hurt with that. Find another way to protest. Please find another way to protest. Because the young man in New York who's trying to get to his daughter in Brooklyn was about ready to run over some people. He got out of his car, black man. He was very calm. He's like, I need y'all to move. I need to get to my daughter in elementary school. And they were still trying to lock arms, like shutting it down, asking for a ceasefire in Israel. I get it. I understand that we all want a ceasefire, but be mindful of the protests that you're doing and make sure nobody's going to get hurt behind it. But y'all, we need to read this information. I'm going to go to inspirational message. I told you I was going to slow walk it today. I'm not in a hurry. Latrice Jones says, please share this episode of News in Motion today. Your friends and family need to glean from this information. Thank you so much, Latrice. Dr. Annette Jackson says, what about the white evangelical pastors so they can say and support whoever? Well, their base are the ones who writing the rule, who are writing these laws. But great question, great question. So I want to move into the inspirational message. Not unless anybody has any questions from today. I want to move into the inspirational message. Y'all know I'm still reading "Draw the Circle: The 40-Day Prayer Challenge" by Matt Batterson, Mark Batterson. I don't know why I want to keep calling him Matt. And yesterday's devotion was called One Day. And I read that thing and I was like, wow. Well, I've read Acts many times. And I've read that book. I told you this is my sixth time going through that prayer challenge, Withdraw the Circle. Acts 10, this is out of the New International Version, verses 2 through 8, says this. At Caesarea, there was a man named Cornelius, a centurion, in what was known as the Italian regiment. He and his family were devout and God fearing. He gave generously to those in need. That one jumped at me. I've never read that before. He gave generously to those in need and prayed to God regularly. I felt like I was looking at myself when I was reading this. Then verse 3 says, one day, I've never read that in my life. It says, one day at about 3 in the afternoon, he had a vision. He distinctly saw an angel of God who came to him and said, Cornelius. Cornelius stared at him in fear. What is it, Lord? He asked. The angel answered, your prayers and gifts to the poor have come up as a memorial offering before God. Now send men to Joppa to bring back a man named Simon, who is called Peter. He is staying with Simon the tanner, whose house is by the sea. When the angel who spoke to him had gone, Cornelius called two of his servants and a devout soldier who was one of his attendants. He told them everything that had happened and sent them to Joppa. One day, so I was reading this particular devotion in Draw the Circle, the 40 Days of Prayer Challenge. The quote from Mark Batterson says these words: today could be the day that God answers the prayer, perform the miracle, or keep the promise. Y'all, seriously, I'm doing everything I can to stay in my seat. All right, today. So I speak today to all of you. And I want to also respond to Mark to say God's promises are never broken. And he has a promise. So today is the day. Hello, somebody. Y'all, today is the day. So I speak today that we can see healing in the land today. I speak today that your prayers are answered. I'm talking prayers that you've been praying for probably the past 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It's coming today. Yeah, never broken, y'all. Miracles upon miracles, Latrice Jones. Today. Wealth and miracles today. Transition today. On today, we can gather in our own homes individually, but collectively pray for America to be protected, for the world to be protected against any type of legislation that will silence God's people today. Because today, if these bills pass in the Senate, and when a change come, you could get people in office that says we can't even talk about Jesus no more. So today should be the day that we get before God and say, Lord, hear our prayers. One day is today. One day is today. One day is today. Why do I bring you the information that I bring you? And y'all can see that we've using Davia's words, we have pivot. I can give you headline news all day long. And that was fun. That was interesting. I was able to research some of these things, but there's so many news headlines. I said, I need to go deeper. And I said, and I believe the people that God's allowing to come and hear from News in Motion and from those of us who are a part of it, Deborah, Isaiah, Lexi, Kenny, and others. I think I said Deborah and others. It's like we got to go deeper. We got to go deeper. So I'd rather bring this type of information to the forefront so that we can start praying about it and dealing with it and sharing it. I want you all in Franklin County to check on your single elderly people who may not have any family members who own their homes, and they're thinking, I'm about to lose my home because I cannot pay this property tax. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's happening. Y'all, today is that day. Pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention. No, I will not apologize that we've gone way over today. I don't care. I told you I was in no hurry today. No hurry today. Y'all, this is the kind of information. If you have not signed up for our newsletter that comes out on Friday, the Friday rundown, I don't know what you're waiting for, because this is the kind of stuff you see in there. Things that I'm not able to really share here or break down here. I post it there, and only people who sign up get it. And if you have unsubscribed, you're like, I think I want to subscribe back, just go to the website and subscribe back. I don't care. And believe me, I don't take it personally when you unsubscribe. I too unsubscribe for things. Me and Elizabeth Towns was talking about that yesterday. Y'all, today is the day for new beginnings for you. Today is the day that you're going to go deeper and do some of the things you've been praying about. Prayers are going to be answered today. And I would love for y'all to come on tomorrow when we have our town hall meeting. And by the way, Laura Williams will be joining me tomorrow in the town hall meeting. We're going to be talking about the Electoral College. You don't want to miss that town hall. So come with your questions to put in the chat. And if anybody else wants to join us, let me know today that you want to join me so I can send you the link so that you can come on live. So anybody, Kim Edmondson, if you want to join me, Latrice, if you want to join me, Stephanie, Deborah, whoever, Javon, if you want to join me having this conversation, do so, but come with your questions. Remember, the moment you all stop posting in the chat, the show's over. So come with your questions tomorrow. Y'all, I am really grateful for all of you who have allowed me to hang out with you. Y'all, we're going on 4 years. June will be 4 years. Can y'all believe that? 4 years. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I get this question all the time. Yeah, you can still get to the Cash App. That's Cash App NIM today. That's N as in news, I am today. Thank you, Isaiah. He be on the case. Y'all can Cash App. Y'all can. Or you can send a check to Making a Difference. I think we have that address up there too. Yep, there you go. And just put in the memo, this is for News in Motion. Yeah, because we're going deep. We're going deep. We're going deep. All right, y'all, that's all I have for today. Stay well and remember, make some bold moves, y'all. We're out.
News in motion.